Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Hustle, and I'm joined today with one of my fantastic graduates, Diyari, who is one of the world's best known dentists. He is also a best-selling author, and he is an educator showing people how to become best-selling authors and absolutely dominate their industry. And we're really going to share with you some great tips and tricks today on how you can dominate your industry. Diyari, great to have you here.
Thank you, my friend, for having me.
It has been an incredible journey over the last few years, working with each other. But look, just take us back. When did this entrepreneurial spirit start for you?
Yeah, well, thank you for having me, Liam. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you. Well, the thing is, I went to dental school, like most people do, some form of, education or something, and they come out, but they prepare you for, the what you're supposed to be doing in that industry, but they never prepare you for life, for the business, for any aspects of that. And for years, I was this good dentist, trying to be good, but unknown. Not many people knew me, and this is the days before social media and all that. So we had, if you remember, or you're younger than me, so you might not remember, we had yellow pages.
Yeah, I remember.
So if you made it into the yellow pages, that was a step forward. So I thought, the business was okay, but it wasn't going further. And I needed to brand myself, and I needed to create this persona, basically tell the world who I am and what I do. I'm a very caring person by nature, so I would have loved to help more people, but how do you reach them? Anyway, so long story short, somebody introduced me to mentorship and how to go to seek mentors, and I'm like, what, mentors? We just came out of dental school, enough with the education, but I didn't realize that education was different. This is now preparing Diyari for the next level. This is my education. This is me, and it was crazy. The journey started with some of the best knowns in the world, people like, the Zig Ziglars and Jay Abrahams and people like that, and Dan Sullivan in Canada, and then Tony Robbins. And I was like a sponge. The more you gave me, the more I learned. And I was trying to reflect on myself and see where do I take the journey. And then before I knew, I was asked to write a book with Brian Tracy, which I did. That made me a bestseller. Then it was Richard Branson. So Richard Branson, I did that. That was a bestseller as well. So in total, I ended up writing 6 books. And one thing leading to the other, that gave me speaking opportunities, engagements, and just that little fame I was looking for to actually say, look, here I am, Walt. I'm just a little,
Why
dot here.
It's a great point, right? Because you started to put yourself out there, and I think that's a really big message for everyone tuning in today. Put yourself out there.
Yeah.
You're gonna get people that love you. You're gonna get people that hate you. Why do people worry so much about what others think? Why are they so scared to get their message out there? And what would you say to those people?
I think people are generally very comfortable being comfortable, and that's a very scary thing. Listen, I'm 62 this year, and
looking good, my man.
Thank you. And I realized one thing, and that is life is too short. And if you don't live it on your terms, on whose term you're going to live it? The government's? Your parents? Your parents might love you more than anything else in the world, but their education is from a different generation, and you have to go and grab it yourself. And the person you don't need to convince the world, you need to convince yourself to say, look, enough with this comfortable zone, this bubble. I'm going to just burst this bubble, get out of the bubble, to see. I mean, that's how birds learn to fly. That's how, nature works, really. They all have to come out of their shell. And I'm glad that I did it soon. I should have done sooner even, but I still did it sooner than others in my generation, because I know a lot of other people out there who work as doctors, dentists, whatever they work, but they are really miserable. I mean, the amount of people I've known over the years. Look, I met you, and that was the other thing. Once I've done all those things, then I was looking for the next level up, because you always go up. As you always say, you teach down, but you yourself try to move up always, and the education never stops. I know you have mentors, and you've been mentors for thousands of people, because we always look for that extra edge, that extra thing, and that's where I met you, for instance, and I've taken the journey even further, and who knows what's beyond here. So
and I think for anyone tuning in, like the very thing someone hates about you, someone's going to love about you, and you can't have all the love without a bit of the hate, I'm afraid. And for every one person that's judging you, there's probably 100 people judging you positively rather than negatively. So this is all about how to get your message out there. What is a fast way today, an easy way for someone to get branded and to elevate themselves in the business? How does someone do that?
I mean, today is probably okay. There's a lot of noise, obviously, and there's a lot of, you need to kind of filter all that and shine. But today is way easier than other days maybe. So number one is by having a good message. What's message? That message that serves you, your business, your clients, and your customers, and be true to that, and be genuine. That's why I say, in this noisy world, if you are genuine, people, even at some point, your haters will kind of have no choice but liking you a bit, thinking, well, actually, he's genuine. I like this guy. You see, I ran a boot camp recently, showing people how to write a best-selling book. And the people who joined my academy, they said, actually, we would have joined no matter what, because you were so genuine, and you were so, we knew you carry your heart on your sleeve, and what you say is what you do. And that's very important, because there's a lot of people out there trying to brand themselves for all the good and bad reasons. And I think the people like us who are genuine, who really want to help others, certainly we differentiate from those. So I think being truthful to your message, being true to yourself, and hey, always educate yourself, always be a step and two ahead of everybody else, because I think people will notice that.
Great. And then obviously, like you mentioned, becoming that authority figure, becoming a best-selling author, and just go.
That's the easiest way.
Just go and launch your book. Work with someone like yourself.
Exactly.
Turn your passion into profit. And I'm sure there are other people within your field, people listening in. There's always going to be other experts. There's people ahead, there's people below, but put your stamp on that marketplace. I launched my first book, Bricks, Mortar and Other People's Money. Another book's just being launched now, and it just cements my place within the marketplace.
Absolutely, I agree with you. And the thing is, the thing we teach at the academy is that have your book, because that's your branding stamp, and then there's so many different ways you can use that book to elevate you. And people have no idea how quickly they can go from here to there to authority status just by having a book, or better yet, a best-selling book. And that's why I created a 6-step easy launch, book launch system, because I thought maybe not everybody has the same background or the same knowledge or the same know-how. So let's kind of standardize it. And we made these 6 steps. And actually, I learned that from you, because I noticed whatever you teach, there's always a blueprint. Everything you give people a blueprint. Some people are at different levels. That's fine. But then that way it's a playing field. And you teach people, and that's what we did at the academy. And I think it's been quite a success. And that's the easiest way.
So since we started to work together, what has been your journey, and what's been some of your results?
Well, the thing is, when I first saw you and joined you, I was obviously, I was in awe of what you were saying, because you're one of the best speakers in the world. And I was just in this room listening to you. And part of me wanted to work with you. I was looking for reasons. And part of me was like, actually, I don't need you, because I've already been a speaker. I'm already a best-selling author 3 times. I'm like, why would I need this guy? But because you were genuine and your message was genuine, and there was a lot of personal touches in there. And I thought, hang on a second, this is not a very distilled environment talking just about the business side of it. This is a human. And I like that human side of it, and because that's how I also probably appeal to others, you know. And I think that's why I joined you, and that was probably one of the best things I've done, because since I've joined you, oh my gosh, my journey has just tripled. I mean, I look at things differently, Liam. I feel like if something used to be, despite my mindset, used to be problematic, or let's put it this way, I've noticed, you never taught me this, but I noticed something. You don't have time for naysayers, and you don't have time for people with glass half empty. You never taught that, but I noticed that. So I always make sure, at least when I'm with you, my glass always full, not just full, it's kind of coming out. Because, and I respect that, because like we said, life is too short. And if you start to listen to every person who whinges about life and their problem, we'd love to help. But come on, you need to help yourself. Get on with it. And that's something I've learned on top of everything else. Obviously, you taught me how to speak, how to sell from stage, which I didn't know that. And when I say sell, I don't mean just sell, but how to convince with your ideas and your message and everything.
You're having people now running to the back of the room and buying your thing.
Exactly.
You've always been a great speak to teach, and now there's a skill set of speak to sell. Exactly. Where you're now building, you're running your own 3-day boot camp. Yeah. You've got an academy which you launched. You're going to emerge as the guy in the UK that can help you get become a best-selling author.
I mean, we did a charity documentary in Mexico many years ago, and that documentary, actually, I was one of the producers and also who worked there, but that documentary won an Emmy Award, you know. But also, years later, last year, you gave me an award for being one of the best newcomers to the Academy. And that meant as much as the Emmy to me, because that was amazing. It's coming from my mentor. And so, Liam, I can't thank you enough.
Great.
And for anyone who's listening, I think they need to help themselves first, be like a sponge for knowledge and get out of your shell, and then look to brand yourself very quickly. If I can help, if you can help, I'm sure we are here to help. And that's the best way to again, spread your message all over the world. I mean, I've started my boot camp here. Now I'm thinking global. I'm like, hey, why not?
Why not?
You know? So
and anything's possible. Yeah?
Absolutely.
You know, the thing is, you've done everything I've asked you to do. It's still, for all of us, I'm always learning. You know, I'm 10 years in as an educator now, and I feel like I'm a baby just now, and you know, every day is a school day, but when you turn your passion into profit and you follow a model, you can really get some incredible
Absolutely.
results.
And what I like about you, Liam, as a mentor, which I'm trying to also, which I've been doing it to others as well, is that to show vulnerability. You know, when something is not right, or something you don't know, or something you say, you know what, let's figure out together. And I think that togetherness is what connects us all. Great. So thank you very much.
Well, you know what, you've been a great friend. You're a brilliant student. I'm sure you've got many years ahead of you, you know, serving people to the highest level. Final few words, tips. Anyone tuning in right now, they're going through a tough time, or they're in a career or job that's not serving them, they want to get out there. What would be your words of wisdom, Diyari?
I will say, number one, believe in yourself. Absolutely. Because ultimately, if this world had no one on it, just you do need to believe in yourself to survive. And then number two, find great mentors to actually help you, you know, find a shortcut to the journey. Because you can go and find out yourself. But the amount of time I try to do something by myself, it costed me time and money. And the time element is way more critical than the money. Because money, you can just work hard and make the money again. But the time never comes back. Tomorrow is gone. That's it. In fact, half an hour ago is gone. It's history. So find yourself mentors. And the thing is, you have the Speaker Academy, you have other academies, you have for properties, you have for investing, which I'm part of it at the master level. So find somebody you like, you gel with, a mentor that got your interest at heart, somebody like Liam. That's why I consider myself smart, and you're my mentor. So find yourself somebody like that, better yet, even Liam. And if you want to book us, and then we'll elevate you together.
Great.
Yeah.
Where can people find you, Diyari? So if people want to write a book, they want to be branded, they want to put their message out there, where can people come and find you?
Well, number one, they can go on the website www.booklegacyacademy.com. But also they can just find me on Instagram and Dr. Abda, that's DRABDAH. And they can DM me, and I'm more than happy to lend a helping hand and take it from there.
Great, fantastic. Well, there we've got it. Diyari in the house doing incredible things. And this is really the power of training and mentorship and being around the right people. I really hope you've enjoyed today's session, and make sure you go and listen to another one right now.